All right, hey, shalom, shalom. Hey, call Loyam La Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahweh Shai, Ba'asham Rakakwadash. Double honors the apostles, elders, of great millstone. Salutations to you, Akim. That's pushing the work in truth and in sincerity. All right, so MAGA mania. All right, Biden addresses the nation to warn of Trump and his allies threatening democracy. Okay, and so this is nothing more than an ongoing trend of these elites targeting you know, certain individuals who have defected from, the state, so to speak, the establishment, and going after those that's in opposition of their new world order standards, which they're setting up. Okay, we've seen it with Alex Jones, and eventually it's going to spill over into our world, where they're going to, pretty much come after us for being against an oppressive system, because in their minds we're supposed to be okay with the oppression. But a few things this article reminds me of course, Satan's kingdom being divided against itself. Also, Project Megiddo. I'm sure you brothers are hip to that, and I got that article, you know, um, really quick. No, I don't have it up, Slacking. But yeah, it reminds me of Project Megiddo, which I'm gonna look up anyway. Quick Wikipedia. All right, if you're not familiar with Project Megiddo, it's a list of of people that the alphabet agencies have deemed extremists, and they've pretty much been watching these certain groups, us included. All right, they got us labeled as the Black Hebrew Israelites. We know it's a derogatory term, of course. They want to lump us up in there with extremists, and for the most part, um, you know, the scriptures say, Wisdom of Solomon 5:1, the righteous shall, then shall a righteous man stand in great boldness in the face of such as have afflicted him. And we know what time it is. We know what time it is. Esau is deflecting. They're pointing the finger, calling, creating a boogeyman. So, they can pretty much, keep their constituents or people that believe in the establishment, keep them in that, hatred mode, So Salaki, it says, President Joe Biden warned Thursday night that equality and democracy are under assault in the U.S. as he sounded an alarm about his predecessor. All right. If it's under attack by anybody, it's under attack by the Biden administration. All right. But we don't really get into politics because really it's folly, you know. And we know this is Roman Empire all over again. All right. It's the last extension of the Roman Empire. Okay. So it's nothing but bread and circuses, even in politics, It's a bunch of buffoonery. It's a bunch of folly. All right. So DT and MAGA, Donald Trump and MAGA Republican adherents, labeling them an extremist threat to the nation and its future. If anybody's an extremist threat, it's the people that are in rulership right now. All right. Just aiming to reframe the November elections as part of a battle for the nation's soul, the work of my presidency, right? And then these elections coming up, a lot of Republicans are gonna, pretty much be voted in, because these demos. Like I said, I don't know too much about politics. I care less about it, but it's good to know little information about it. But the Democrats, for the most part, this year, as we see in our world, the prices have gone up. We've been witnessing inflation, and pretty much people are tired of it. So the tide is going to, switch, so to speak. So the Republicans are going to get in there and these Senate seats or whatever you want to call them. All right. And it's going to take a little steam off of you know, the Biden administration and what they've been doing, generating crises and doing all sorts of things, is going to put a slow spin to that. But they've been preparing, all right, with these different shortages that they've been setting up for their agenda that's coming up. So, all right, so let's continue. It says Biden used his primetime speech at the Independence Hall in Philadelphia to argue that Trump and the Make America Great Again allies who now lead the Republican Party are a menace to the nation's system of government. And yeah, Esau has a tendency to do that. When things don't go in their favor, they tend to, you know, point the finger at other people and say and create a boogeyman, you know. But at the end of the day, you know, we know the Lord is always, you know, tilting the balance, all right, or is always bringing balance. Okay, so as we see the empire fall, we see the infighting with these Edomites and their power structure, all right, and they're losing, okay, because nobody's really gonna come out on top, all right, except for prophecy, okay, and the prophecy that we know is that Babylon, according to Isaiah 14 and Isaiah 47, is going to fall. It's going to corrode from the inside out, and we see that. Okay, Republican Party are a menace to the nation's system of government. All right, and yeah, we can get into how they don't follow their own laws and how they change the Constitution, how they bring in new laws to continue to oppress, so on and so forth. All right. But the good thing about this whole thing is that they fight against each other, according to what the scriptures say. If Satan's kingdom be divided against itself, how shall it stand? But that's good. That's a plus out of this. And of course, we know their agenda, the Megiddo, Project Megiddo. All right. It's standing abroad and its citizens' way of life. You see. So, and, you know, you're going to have these different which is going to create slacken. It's going to create an atmosphere for that civil unrest, you know, and these Egyptians versus these Egyptians, okay, the Americans versus the Americans, them all fighting one another, okay. So you can read more of this article. You know, like I said, only take it as, you know, of course, Satan's kingdom being divided against itself, and soon enough, the Lord is going. He's going to shake this place up. Okay. So what does this remind me of? All right. That's a good article too. I want to do a lesson on this because, you know, this is going to set the stage for the nations hating Esau. So there's a lot of things that's going on, man. It's going to set the stage. This article is going to set the stage for the West being hated by these other nations. All right. So let's see. Give me a second. All right. So again, this is like I said, an ongoing trend, and this reminded me of Project Megiddo. All right, and them mobilizing on, you know, going after these defectors, these people that are not down with the NWO, you know, and eventually they're going to come after these people, and have been coming after these people, you know. It says Project Megiddo was a report researched and written by the United States Federal Bureau of Investigation under Director Louis Freeh, released on October 20th, 1999. The report named followers of white supremacy, Christian identity, and American militia movement. All right, which a lot of those people are they're MAGA. All right, they're with the MAGA movement. This is Black Hebrew Israelites, which they lump us in there with that, which we know black. We're not black. Okay, we're very inclusive. No, I ain't gonna say inclusive. Salakia. Diverse group as far as you know, us being diverse as in tribes. All right, because we have 12 different tribes that's part of one nation Okay. All right. It says in apocalyptic cults, those that's preppers. Okay. Because they don't want people to prep. They don't want people to be prepared. They don't want people to be able to defend themselves. And they damn sure don't want people to bring out the truth of the evils that they've been doing, which they've been telling on themselves the whole time. So if anybody's to be mad at, it's them, but ultimately it's the Lord. All right. So this is for over 4,000 years. The Megiddo, a hill in northern Israel, has been the site of many battles. Ancient cities were established there to serve as a fortress on the plain of Jezreel, Yazara'ala. All right, it says to guard a mountain pass as Megiddo was built and rebuilt. As slacking. As Megiddo was built and rebuilt, one city upon the other, and mound or hill was formed. The Hebrew word Armageddon means hill of Megiddo. All right. In English, the word has come to represent battle itself. The last book in the New Testament of the Bible designates Armageddon as the assembly point in the apocalyptic setting of God's final and conclusive battle against evil. The name Megiddo is an apt title for a project that analyzes those who believe the year 2000 will usher in the end of the world and who are willing to perpetrate acts of violence to bring that end about. And we don't have to perpetrate any acts of violence. It's the actual people that's creating the boogeyman and pointing the finger that's going to bring the acts of violence. They're going to generate the crises. Okay. Order ad Ko. It's written on your dollar, man. I mean, what more do you want? What more evidence do you want that you single-handedly is bringing your own empire down? All right. Okay. And of course, look, like I said, we're not going to do anything. And of course, we know our elders and apostles were prophesying about the year 2000 being, pretty much the year, the return of our Lord and the destruction of America. For the most part, well, the scriptures say even when you deal with like Jonah, I think it's the scriptures say that we was, man, I don't want to butcher it. That we would seek the Lord. Let me see if I can find it. All right, so Slack it. Okay, so I found it. Being that I mentioned it, might as well go ahead and bring it out. This is Luke 17:22. This is just concerning the year 2000 prophecy, because these people just try to get on us and call us false prophets because the world wasn't destroyed in 2000. America wasn't destroyed in 2000, but you had 2001. All right, when 9/11 happened. Okay, and that was a down spiral for this society as we know it. The free world as we know it. With this whole Patriot Act, surveilling. All right, surveilling people and their contacts. Eric Snowden and all these whistleblowers came out with all this different information concerning the powers that be and their corrupt dealings. Okay, so Luke 17:22. All right, because we know this ain't, it wasn't gonna happen in one night. It takes time. The Lord's prophecies have to, other prophecies have to take place, like the MOTB, the Jacob's Trouble, World War III, So Luke 17:22, it says, and he said unto the disciples, the days will come when ye shall desire to see one of the days of the Son of Man, and ye shall not see it. All right. So, and that was, our apostles, they were hastening the day. They were doing the work out there on the highways and byways. And a lot of men have lost the faith because of what? You know, it didn't happen on that day. 2000 2000, the year 2000, January 1st. But yeah, so because I mentioned it, I'll just bring that precept out. All right, because you had the scoffers and people that was coming after us, and calling us false prophets. But it was a day, it says here, it says the days will come when ye shall desire to see one of the days of the Son of Man, and ye shall not see it. All right. Okay, and the year probably in 2000 wasn't that day, but again, they've been watching and they've been identifying, these groups. Okay. All right. And ultimately, they have a plan of action for these groups. All right. We know Megiddo is also was a prominent time, a devastating time in the history of Israel. All right, where the Romans pretty much cast a trench about Israel. All right, the Israelites and kept them in on every side, as the scriptures say, and they starved them to death. Okay. All right. And so that's what they plan to do to these defectors and, people that are going against their agenda. Okay. And that's what they've been setting up for, the shortages and, these things to come. They've been talking about the rolling blackouts and all these different things that they got set up to come. What is so they can get ultimately, force people in subjection. All right. So only had 2 precepts, man, plus that one. All right. This is Revelations 12:12, because you brothers know what's going on, man, through the Spirit, if you've been paying attention. All right. And yeah, man, it's about that time. We're seeing these things happen as a trend. These Edomites, these elite Edomites going after these other Edomites that's, not so much elite, because these groups, they lie to each other and they war against each other. And it's really all for our benefit. So Revelations 12:12, it says, therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. So his time is getting short, and he knows it. And so that's why he's gonna come with great wrath. All right. And he's gonna bring starvation. He's gonna bring famines. He's gonna bring the blackouts. He's gonna bring a whole level of disparity, and not to mention you talk about the population of in this society going berserk and destroying one another. All right. Civil unrest, but we're talking about it at a level never seen here on earth. Okay. So these things are set up, okay, to come. All right. Psalms 10. All right. And 1, it says, why standest thou afar off? All right, O Lord, why hidest thou thyself in times of trouble, which he's not? Okay. The wicked in his pride doth persecute the poor. Let them be taken in the devices that they have imagined. Okay. And for the most part, they are going to persecute the poor. That is the NWOs. That's their main enemy. Okay. Is the poor. Okay. And of course themselves. All right. Because they got to, eradicate those that defect from the establishment, their establishment. All right. Their Edomite hegemony. Okay. Verse 3, it says, for the wicked boasteth of his heart's desire, and blessed the covetous, whom the Lord abhorreth. And we see that. Okay. And they boast of their heart's desire. We see it. They're proud, and we get to see what their desire is openly. Okay. All right. It says the wicked through the pride of his countenance All right, will not seek after God. God is not in all his thoughts. His ways are always grievous. Thy judgments are far above out of his sight. For as all his enemies, he puffeth at them. All right, and that's what you're seeing him puffing at his enemies. Okay. Yeah, I want to get that in NLT. All right, that's what you're seeing with this devil, man. All right, he's puffing at his enemies as we speak. All right. Right. The Hebrew word for puffeth is, all right, pawach, to breathe, blow, to breathe, to cause, to exhale, breathe, to puff, to excite, inflame, to puff, plan forward, to breathe out, utter, to blow, blast. All right, with air. Okay. Let's see, is this a primitive root? Yep. So yeah, so he blows or puffeth at them, to scoff, to blow. All right. And that's what we seeing them do. They scoffing. Okay. So there could be in a sense of eradication, you know, as in puffing at us or puffing at their enemies. All right. NLT says what? Psalms 10 and 5. It says, yet they succeed in everything they do. They do not see your punishment awaiting. They do not see your punishment awaiting them. They sneer at all their enemies. Right. So as they puffing at or sneering at all their enemies, they don't see the big setup of the Lord about to eradicate them. All right. He hath said in his heart, I shall not be moved, for I shall never be in adversity. Yep. And that's what they think. Okay. They think they're going to puff at all their enemies and eradicate all their enemies. But what's going to happen? All right. Job 20. All right. When that goes to feel like belly, I think it's 22. 20 and 22. Yep. It says, in the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. All right. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. All right. And the wicked, this is dealing with not the actual wicked, because the Hebrew word for wicked in this sense is aimal. All right. It says laborer, sufferer. So every hand of the laborer, every hand of the sufferer shall come against him. The wretched one, the workman, those that are toiling. And that's where you're going to get your civil unrest from. So they're not going to have any, it's not, the NWO is not going to be, you know, something easily gained by these Edomites. They're going to have trouble in doing it. And they know this. Okay, and that's why they have certain things set up to eradicate certain people who are coming against their agenda. All right, but it's not going to be established without a fight. Again, I'm going to read it again. All right. It says, in the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits, meaning a difficult position. Okay. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. When he is about to fill his belly, God shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him and shall rain it upon him while he is eating. So as you're devouring, consuming everything, all right, and have everything in order abkeo, okay, the Lord is going to rain down that fire. All right. You're going to go into World War III. All right. And the Lord is going to eradicate you. Your establishment, your power structure is going to fall completely. And you're going to go into hiding from, you know, those 12-foot angels, you know. I'm just playing. I'm just throwing that out there. But, yeah, you're going to have to hide from Yahweh Shai and the angels, man. All right. Okay. And that's a whole nother topic for a whole nother lesson, you know, because the Lord is going to come after the wicked elite. Okay, you're going to go into hiding. All right, after the devastation of your establishment, you know, and that was pretty much it for this. That's all I had, you know. It's just, you know, a growing trend that we see Esau going after Esau. There's alphabet agencies, and of course they just added more power to their fraudulent agencies, the IRS, you know, and soon they're going to be oppressing, and you know, and these are the times where things are going to get a little bit more strenuous. It's going to get a little bit more straight, you know, and difficult. But the Lord is going to see us through all of this, because the scriptures say He's going to bring a third part through the fire. All right, and then thus said the scriptures, man. All right. So with that, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. Until next time, I say shalom.